What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video today. It is David, back at it, day number 15 of the 75-day Blitz challenge. And in today's video, I want to play off of what I was, talking about in my last video when I was talking about identity labels. And one of those things for me personally, so this is not a new lesson today, this is more going off of what I said yesterday about identity labels and how they can kind of be a crutch, actually, and really hold you down from doing what you need to do, and maybe even like inflating your ego to a point where you feel stuck and you're kind of stuck in your own little box, and because you're stuck in that box, you feel like you have to compensate for it, and you have to really stick to that identity or label that you put on yourself. And one of those for me specifically is being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, right? I know a lot of people, you'll see it on Instagram, you'll see it everywhere on the internet, people driving Lambos, posting. I mean, maybe you don't, because I'm around that, a lot of people who are like that, but I mean, you'll see ads from, I'm sure by now everyone has seen an ad from the guy named Ty Lopez, the guy with the glasses who's in his garage of his Lambo and all that. And then the ad was like, an ad ran in like a few years ago, I think. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people have seen that ad, like across the world even. And that was like kind of an example of, what I was talking about. But yeah, so I'll see a lot of this online on the internet, the people I follow. Just a lot of like thought leaders and people saying how, being an entrepreneur is like this glorious thing, this thing that, everyone should do. No one should go to college. No one should get a job. Whatever. If you don't do it, then, you're a loser, whatever it is, right? And I kind of bought into that, actually. I kind of bought into that identity label, and that kind of fucked me up, actually, in a lot of ways. And so I'll go into a few of the ways that kind of has fucked me up, actually, in not so good ways. Way number one is it made me feel a false sense of security, because you'll see like people online telling you it's so easy to do that, or like it's not that hard, you just have to do this and that, follow the step-by-step blueprint, buy my course, learn from me, blah blah blah, get a mentor, dot dot dot. But that's not how business works if you really think about it. If you look at any business, of course, you can usually replicate or break it down, like the foundations of what makes a good business, what makes a business successful, but truly, you can never truly copy or make a 100% bulletproof blueprint that is fail-proof, because that's not true. I know the statistic of 90% of businesses fail, blah, 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 that. Yeah, there's some truth to that. There's a lot of reasons why businesses fail, such as getting a business for the wrong reasons, running out of funding, bad business idea, no market demand for it, or you're doing something you're passionate but there's too much demand, or there's not enough demand for the excessive supply there is. Something like personal training, or something like freelancing, or something, something that a type of business that's easy to start, or something a lot of people want to do or get into. And for me, actually, one of those business models, I don't really like using the word business models, because if you really think about it, all business is the same. It's just different mechanisms or tools, and the end product might be different, but the whole fundamental basics of business is still the same no matter what business model it is. But of course, a lot of people will try to complicate it, and that also is one thing that's fucked me up in the process. But in this case, the business I do is e-commerce, which, a lot of people may not know what the word e-commerce means. It just means selling products online, physical products usually. That's what it usually refers to. So if you ever bought anything on Amazon, let's just say I'm someone who sells on Amazon and you're the one that buys my products I have hosted on Amazon's website. That's the easiest way I could explain it to you, right? If you ever bought anything on Amazon, that's e-commerce right there. But yeah, I'm not talking about business right now, just talking about the lessons I've learned from putting identity labels, right? So I kind of got sidetracked there for a minute. But in my case, moving on from that, going off of the whole e-commerce thing, yeah. So when I first started getting into making money with e-commerce or whatever, I'm just gonna say e-commerce because that is the business I'm in or whatever. So I had this like inflated ego where I was always thinking like, man, I'm better than my friends. I'm better than anyone else. Everyone should do e-commerce because everyone's selling online. That's a new trend and wave these days. And that's great and all, but when you really think about it, when you really actually objectively look at it, it's like, wait, wait a minute. If everyone is doing this, is this the best thing I should do? And it's not even just that. It's like the way people make it seem, they make it seem like it's an easy thing. Specifically, a specific type of way that a lot of people do e-commerce online, or at least the ones who make YouTube tutorials about it, who post about how much money they make. They do a form of e-commerce called drop shipping. And again, this is not a business video really. Well, in a way it is, because business is life and life is business. One and the same, right? But moving on for that, drop shipping is basically e-commerce, right? Selling, except you as a seller, the business owner, does not hold inventory. So you're just like kind of the middleman, right? So like you'll take a wholesale price product from China and or whatever, some supplier who gives you a wholesale price. Usually for a lot of people it's China on this website called AliExpress, which is really not a middleman website. It's actually a consumer website. But a lot of people, I guess you could say, hack the system because most people don't, at least in the States or most countries, don't know about it. So yeah, you'll buy it. Let's just say there's a $5 product or something on AliExpress. I don't know, a blender or something. Blender, like a water bottle or something, right? And then I'll mark it up to $20, sell it to you for $20. I take the $15 profit difference, which is usually not $15, because there's like fees, transaction fees, payment processor fees associated with that, and also ad spend, like cost of like goods, and also cost of goods is $5, but usually you have to pay for ads. Usually get attention, right? You're buying attention on social media, Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, right? Or sending it to what we call in the online space, business influencers, which, just basically people of clout or people of a good following of engaged followers that are fans, loyal fans. Usually, not always, but usually that's the case. So what you would define as an influencer. So yeah, where was I getting with that? Yeah. So that was the first thing that fucked me up. It fucked with my ego. It made me think that I could make a lot of money without much work, or that the business was super easy. And it's not. It's just not, Like a lot of people don't tell you that, but it's easy to say that when they're driving a nice supercar and they're selling you some step-by-step blueprint. And, that's not... Truth is, as great, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, it's very misleading and really setting the expectation a little too high. And at the same time, making it seem like it's as simple as setting up an online shop and throwing up a bunch of random products. In reality, most consumers are much smarter than that. Come on, like, you're not adding any value to the end consumer if you're shipping them things that take forever to get to them, that it can be bought off a cheap Chinese wholesale website. Like, it's not value. And I was kind of into that at first, and that's what I did at first to get started. Made mistakes, lost some money, made a little money here and there. So I didn't really make a whole lot in the end, but it's when I really started thinking, like, I need to start a brand, and I did. And not the brand in the way, like, man, I'm just making a business video now, right? Anyways, yeah, so I'll tell you what I sell maybe in one of these videos. Usually that's the thing that people don't really tell their people what they sell in their videos. You'll notice that they won't show what their online shop is when they're doing tutorials. I will probably, because I actually have my own products, but yeah, so it's not a clothing brand. Like, I know a lot of people want to do clothing brands and all that. It's not. It's probably one of the hardest businesses actually do. A lot of people want to do a clothing brand. I prefer to, I guess my product is kind of like a clothing, a fashion accessory, but it's more of a problem-solving product, which is a lot easier to sell a product that's unique and solves a problem for a lot of people. I prefer that, right? It's a lot easier to sell than clothing, because clothing, it's like, kind of speaking of identity and labels, quite frankly, that is actually a great example of identity and labels. People have their own favorite brands because they tailor to their certain audience of specific interests and desires, And if you could slap a t-shirt on, right, you have some brands cater to surfers, some brands cater to like, different types of girls. Just like it's so interesting to me how like you can take a piece of clothing or anything really and slap an identity and label on it, like just with the messaging and the way you market that product or that clothing item or those clothing items and that encompasses the entire brand itself. And yeah, so I mean, man, this has been a very long explanation of the first thing that's fucked me up. The second thing that's fucked me up for sure is that I did not get a job after I graduated college for a long time. And even when I was in college, I barely left my room in my apartment. I barely went out and actually enjoyed myself. I barely networked. It was terrible, and I think about it, I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm just going to tell you this right now. You're watching this video, I fucked up. Like, I know in these videos I talk on like I'm some savior, but I'm not. I'm just sharing my experiences and some of the things that I wish I knew when I started out, not just in business, but also just in my life when I was a younger kid. A lot of these lessons applicable to anyone, universal lessons, apply across the entire board for your whole life. And yeah, one of the things is having too big of an ego, right? Because that inflated ego made me think, man, if I get a job, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a real, I'm not a real G, I'm not a baller, I'm not, like, I have to make this work. And that stressed me out because I was running on whatever money I had saved up. I had no backup, I had no extra source of income, that was it. If I run out of money, that's it. I don't have anything else to rely on. And that's really bad. I know a lot of people say you should put your back on the wall, but my personality type is not really conducive to like doing things that way. And I know that too, and I was just too stubborn and too, I guess, lazy and also egotistical about getting a job when I left college or even going out because I thought I was better than other people. And that's kind of, I didn't really explicitly think that, but subconsciously that's kind of how I was thinking and how I was acting out, And it's so bad because I lost a lot of friendships. I didn't nurture relationships. I probably would have stronger ones if I hadn't done that, looking back at it. Probably have more friends right now that I talk to be honest. It's not really me feeling lonely. I'm feeling bad for myself, but that's a part of my life that I wish I had done things a lot differently, I'd say. And yeah, it's not just a friendship part in the relationship because, again, business is about people, so at the same time, it's everything, man. People are everything, man. I realize that. You can't always just stay in your... I guess that's lesson number 3. You can't always stay in your shell. You got to get out of your shell. Like, and I'll just say grind 18 hours a day, do this and that. Come on, man. Like, we're human. We're not fucking perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I'll never be perfect. I'll never have perfect habits or be perfect in any way. I'm just going to be who I am. I'll improve. Doesn't mean I don't have an ego or don't try to improve. It just, I accept the reality that none of us are going to be perfect. And I don't expect anyone to be perfect either anymore, which I did back in the day. It's not good, man. It's really not healthy at all. And back to point number 2, the job thing, like, I'd probably actually have a good, successful business or a growing business right now further along had I gotten a job. Reason being because I would have the money to fund it and I would not be in debt like I am right now. I wouldn't be paying that credit card debt. If I didn't, I'd have the cash flow to still enjoy my life a little bit and to fund my business and not stress about paying the bills, paying rent, or getting food on the table, or any of that stuff. I'm running out of cash. I would not have that, I'd also be a lot happier, too, in a lot of ways, because I actually don't... While my job is not the best paying job, I don't mind it so much because I work with kids, at my job, I actually work at a school. And, like, just being around kids and being around people in general is a very good thing. Not all the time, of course. I'm not going to say, oh, you got to be around a bunch of people because, like, they're all good. No, obviously there's people you don't want to be around. Some people just aren't compatible. There's a lot of people fit that category. They're not for you. Not in the sense of, like, being a really strong, close relationship, of course. But being around people, man, there's something about that just... It gives you fulfillment. It gives you happiness. It gives you a sense of purpose. It makes you excited to wake up. Someone to interact with. And that's something that I was missing for so long before I got my job a few months ago. And I should have gotten that job or some sort of job like half a year before then, if not a little bit, maybe even over half a year. So had I gotten the job, I would have more money right now. My business is probably doing better. Like a lot of things, I fucked up. Like I'm pissed off. Like in a lot of ways, I'm glad I actually got the job. Even though could have done it earlier, could have put my ego aside a little bit earlier. I could have not been too prideful or too whatever it was I was feeling about that. And yeah, it wasn't something that I wanted to ever do, but I had to do it. Like I was sitting at home, I was lazy. I'm gonna be honest, I was a lazy fucking dimwit. Like, damn, like my room. I know I'm not even. There's no script here, so I'm looking at my room here. It's still kind of messy. I gotta fix that. I've started cleaning a little bit since I talked about it, but it's kind of gone messy again. And like those bad habits or that ego or that identity label fucked me over. But whose fault is it? It's my fault, of course, and I'm responsible for my own life. And that's something that's hard to get because it hurts. It's painful when you realize how much you screwed up or how much your ego hurt you or how much you think you've accomplished, but in reality, you've almost done nothing, right? And that's so hard just to look at yourself from as an objective point of view of, wow, you really did not accomplish that much in an entire year since, it's like 2 months from now, it'll be an entire 12 months, 1 year since I've graduated college. And have I accomplished a lot? No, my bank account's actually lower than when I graduated, unfortunately. Right? I've been going backwards. But I've taken steps forward in a lot of ways, but a lot of backwards. Probably a little more backwards than forward. Right? And yeah, so the identity labels, this is just one example in my life recently where I can strongly tell you why adhering to my identity, in this case, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm this, and that, I can't be anything else. Like, that fucks you over, that ego, that strong identity becomes part of you to the point where if you do something else, oh no, you're violating that principle of consistency bias where, you have to adhere to what you say you are. And consistency is actually a good thing. I'll talk about that in another video. But in this case, where identity builds your ego up so much that you look down at other things that you think you're too good for other things, like other people or getting a job or stuff like that. In this case, then that's when it becomes a problem. And it was a problem for me. So watch out. Never get too stuck in some identity or some label. Never think you're too good for anything. Because the more opportunities you look at, my mom told me this actually when I first graduated. Take any job you can get. Take any opportunity you can get. I played it off. I thought I was too good for that. I was like, I don't need that. I can always make money. That is kind of true, right? But at the same time, I was like, nah, I'm too good for that, right? But I was a nothing at the time. I'm still kind of a nothing in a lot of ways I look at it. I'm progressing, but I'm still nothing in my eyes. And I wish I'd learned that lesson sooner. I wish I didn't let the identity labels really get to me too much. I hated to admit it. Am I really an entrepreneur? Am I really this? I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not any of those guys. I don't ever want to be those. So I do admit to myself, this is what I want to be. I still want to be a business owner, of course. But I don't want to be some 9-figure or running some huge company. It's just not me. That's part of the identity label where you just break free from it and you really get honest of who you are and yourself and what you really want in your life. I do want a lot of money. I do want this and that. But I do realize I probably won't be at a certain X level, of being some famous, well-known whatever, right? Or some gazillionaire. I won't be. I just won't be because I don't want to be. I don't want to trade places with Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whatever, insert any successful person you admire in your life, in your field, industry, niche, subject, topic, job, whatever it is, anything in your life. I don't want to be them. I wouldn't want to be them. I'm just being honest with myself. And it was hard to be honest with myself earlier, but now, again, starting to realize that. You got to be honest with yourself on what you want, what your intentions are. If you're not, you won't get what you actually truly want. You'll end up miserable in your life. You'll hate yourself. You'll hate your job. You'll hate whatever you do. You'll hate the people you're around. So get honest with yourself. And The sooner you do that, the better off you will be. So with that said, I hope you liked this video. I hope you got some value out of this. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you found value out of this video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about any identity labels that you think may be causing you trouble in your life, or maybe that you've overcome in the past that's really made your life a lot better just by moving past that. Or even maybe you do like an identity label and that's actually helped you as a person, because it does help to have an identity sometimes. I'm not saying it's a completely bad thing, but I'm just giving you another side of the same coin, really. So with that said, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.